How to overcome any kind of addiction. In order to do that, you need to completely understand what addiction is. Obviously, addiction takes place in the mind. Your mind has three systems: the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. All these systems work for you, but you control only one, the conscious. So, how does any kind of addiction take place? When you consciously start doing something, it gets registered in all three of your systems. When you continue doing the same thing, it transforms into a habit. Addiction is basically a habit gone out of your control. This transformation greatly depends on the nature of the thing you're doing. What do I mean by nature? The nature of the thing here refers to whether it gives you pleasure, pain, or causes irritation. The nature of the act decides whether it will become a habit sooner or later. Basically, things that give you pleasure, requiring minimum effort, are more likely to become a habit much faster than things that take a lot of effort and give less or no pleasure. Let's divide this into short-term happiness and long-term happiness. Short-lived happiness is achieved by doing things that give us short bursts of pleasure, like a joke, hanging out with friends, chatting online with girls, having a lover, gaming, watching comedy on YouTube, masturbation, eating, drinking, smoking, lazing around, Facebooking, Snapchatting, Instagramming. You get the picture. The common thing in all these activities is that you receive great pleasure while doing them, but the moment they end, the pleasure dies. So, in order to keep feeling good, you repeat them without any moderation, eventually becoming an addict without even realizing it. You are watching videos online for hours without realizing you're addicted, sending requests, messages, chatting because you're addicted not to a specific girl, but to girls in general. You are willing to throw away your work, studies, and opportunities just so you can spend more time with a girlfriend because you get happy being around her. You want more and more of that, inevitably becoming an addict of that person or group of friends, which is called codependence. This could be with the ritual of hanging out or any activity, gaming, masturbation, chatting, anything that gives you instant pleasure. Basically, addiction is an attempt to stretch short-term happiness into long-term happiness by continuing to do these activities. Now, if that's the case, why don't we simply focus on long-term happiness? Long-term happiness is achievement-based, meaning the pleasure you love the most comes after you've accomplished something. In the process, there are no happy feelings or pleasure. On the contrary, they require hardship, seriousness, and discipline. For example, studying, going to the gym, practicing an interest, perfecting a craft, learning, focusing, all of these are traditionally the opposite of fun. That is why it's hard to make such things a habit. Humans, by nature, are lazy beings. We seek to extract pleasure from the easiest options available, which is why we focus on short-term pleasures, because they require absolutely no effort. We may be screwing ourselves over in the future. That is the answer to why we become addicts of anything. The question is, once you become addicted to something, why is it so hard to undo it? There are three reasons. Pleasure. Since all this activity takes place in the mind, you need to understand something about it. Your brain recognizes and prefers following patterns. When it sees you doing something daily or for hours each day, it fits that activity into a pattern and introduces it into your daily routine. Now, this is where pleasure becomes a game changer. Pleasure is not some abstract, inexplicable phenomenon. Whenever you experience a burst of happiness, there is a release of hormones in your brain, from masturbation, to watching videos, to being around the person you want to be with. These hormones are the reason behind those happy feelings. So, if addiction is a habit gone out of control, it means you are abusing the short-term pleasures by repeating them. Technically, you're abusing the release of hormones in your brain, and your brain is taking that abuse into account, fitting it into a pattern, and introducing it as a new routine, which makes you want to do it every day, more and more. That's why you don't realize you become an addict until it starts having serious consequences. Different people are addicted to different things, but all addictions are connected through a common thread: short-term pleasures. This is why it is super hard to be addicted to working out, as opposed to watching porn, chatting on Facebook, WhatsApp, or browsing social media. There is no pleasure in working out, studying, learning something from scratch, creating, or building something unless you love it. Otherwise, it's simply hard work. And I know I'm repeating myself, but it is important. This is the reason why generations after generations, people will continue becoming addicted to something or other. Simply put, we are lazy, and we want to be happy. Because we are lazy, we look for the easiest ways to be happy and repeat them endlessly so we can extend those short-term pleasures into long-term pleasures. One day, you'll realize that you've done nothing except indulge in trivial short-term pleasures. Life will throw many opportunities your way, but you will miss them because you didn't update your skills or learn anything new. Instead, you wasted all your time.